See, Gerald got them sniffles. Yes, he do. Yeah. But that's all right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's gonna be all right. Mm-hmm. Cause it's nothing but the seasons and not the reasons. So everything's gonna be all right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. What's up, family? I said, what's up, family? What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. It is Monday, February 13th, 2017. How is everybody doing? I hope that you had a blessed and restful weekend, sidestepping the negative by grounding your feet, speaking your truth, but of course, placing Him first in everything you do. Why? You already know. Because there's only one you. So that makes you unique. That makes you priceless. There'll never be another you. So therefore, there must be a requirement to fulfill your direction by authenticity and protection, by loving yourself first and embracing your legacy, because that is your purpose. But this video right here is for the intended heart, intended mind. And I'm going to throw this out because I hope that you find this, and this will save you unnecessary stress, undue hurt, and validation. You say, where you going with this, Gerald? It's the beginning of my week. You know, we're on Monday, Gerald. You know, I'm trying to keep my mind right. I don't understand that. But I'm trying to keep you grounded. And this video right here is going to save somebody a whole lot of pain. It's going to be your validation, because there's no need to run from the truth. So, what do you mean, Gerald? You're going around the mountain. No, right in front of you, speaking to your heart. And since we're talking about heart, let's talk about that symbolization, as we know, called Valentine's Day. That's right. Some of y'all been looking at your watch and you've been counting down. Oh, you've been counting down because you are using that as a means to justify the bond, to justify the connection, to validate the environment. But the truth of the matter is, what about the other 364? Did you hear me? What about the other 364 days? See, tomorrow, you guys are going to see a lot of things. You're going to see a lot of examples. And you have to make a choice to ground your feet and allow what is being shown to come to pass. Because if you don't, another year will come by, another season will pass, and now it's all about truth. I know there's going to be plenty of people that are going to be like, you know what? I ain't think about it like that. Well, this is for the intended heart, intended mind. So let's talk about that great American hustle called Valentine's Day. See, the scramble is on. The scramble has actually began as of last week. And there were certain things that were revealed to you that may have had you think a certain way, act another. But the truth of the matter is, clarity is going to show itself as it's intended. Why? It's the harvest. So Valentine's Day is going to be a representation of words spoken, actions taken, and value of time. Why? Because that is something that you can't get back. The greatest commodity that you're going to ever come to have is your time. But the truth of the matter is, there will be those who will do nothing more to rob you from it. How about squander it? How about downright hijack or hold hostage by way of your self-worth? Who am I talking to? So I got to throw this out there because I want you to consider this. What about the 364? Why are you saying 364, Gerald? Because minus 1 day, that is 12 months of a calendar year. So imagine the time invested. If you just want to look at it from a perspective of 52 weeks, 24 hours in a day, that's a lot of connection. That's a lot of investment. But if you do not know who you are, that is lack of protection. Because see, what we're talking about, family, is your self-worth. There can never be another you. So why are you placing a price tag on something that is priceless? You can't find you in the store. So why are you allowing someone to buy you? Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? Hmm? Do you realize in less than 24 hours, some of you are going to start your day and the environment is going to be the same as it was today? And you're going to hear songs of love that are going to spark that beautiful mind to see a certain perspective, to validate a certain connection and why they have access to your life. So what about the other 364? I want you to think about that. Be right here. What about the other 364, family? Because guess what? There are people that are banking that you don't. There are people hoping that you embrace the distraction. Do you realize in 24 hours the billions of dollars that are going to be generated for a gesture and an illustration known as love? But here's the funny thing about it. When it comes to you, you are unique. And your actions should be validated by being unique. But they, the, the machine, are hoping that you will not. That's right. They're hoping that you will fall in that lane and cash out. Now, I know there are going to be some people say, well, Gerald, you just hating, bruh. You just hating. What if I want to take my money and spend it to show an expression for tomorrow? What's wrong with that? Well, there's nothing wrong with it. But shouldn't it just validate what you've been doing the whole time? Who am I talking to? The greatest expression to mankind by God was love. If he didn't love you, you would not exist. But you realize how many people are walking around brokenhearted? Because they refuse to acknowledge it's broken. Do you realize how many people who are using this very tactic to set your life back for an indefinite period of time? So we know we can easily say that is an underlining agenda, right, Gerald? Why would someone use that? Because, see, they already know. They already know your mindset. They already know what you're working with. And the end goal is to distract you from you. So what about the other 364? They're not talking about that. Because they also understand that majority of people are going to fall short. A majority of people are going to use that as a token for a temporary fix. Who am I talking to? Meanwhile, the climate has been rocky. The seas have been unstable. And the skies are gray. But in 24 hours, they're going to convince you it's worth it all. What about the other 364? So we can easily say what we always know. We can't accept what has not been accepted. Some of you are going to go to work tomorrow and you're going to see grand expressions. Oh yeah, there's always going to be that one guy or one girl that seems like they're being showered with attention, to be the center of attention, but really is nothing but the distraction. You ever considered the fact of the matter is maybe they bought their own stuff, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But if A, B, C equals D, and all of a sudden there's this illustration, maybe the illustration was orchestrated by them. See, what about the other 364, I asked? What about the moments when you were sick? What about the moments when you needed clarity? What about the moments when you just wanted to feel their touch? What about the other 364? Surely you can't find that in a car. You cannot find it in a flower bed because these things are possessed and found within you. Who am I talking to? So, with that being in mind, does it kind of make you wonder why they're MIA today? Y'all been bickering and fighting for the last 2 weeks. Now, they don't want to talk to you. Now, you can't justify their whereabouts. You not think that's coincidental? Somebody's eyes are being wide open right now because you're like, wait a minute. The truth of the matter is, the priority has already been set, and the requirements for their attention will be exactly where they intend. This is not shade. This is protection. And you will come to understand that you are far much more. But what about the other 364, Gerald? What about all that hard-earned money that I spend to show her and shower her? But what about the other 364? Is she the representation that would finally receive the highest gift and token? Your last name? Because unless you see the value in your time, just like those flowers and cards, they will soon fade. They will soon be a distant memory. See, family, you cannot find a teddy bear or a bouquet, a shiny diamond ring to represent you. For those who do not see your value, who do not see your worth, will pull the stops. Some of you have already had the sit down in the conversation, maybe last week. Conveniently, they got to work overtime. Conveniently, they got to go on a business trip. Conveniently, they are not where they should be next to you. What about the other 364 family? Do you not value your time? Do you not value your life? Because the truth of the matter is, the people that value your time, the people that truly love you, they don't need no card. You see it in their actions. You see it in their validation because unconditionally they stand in your benefit. They love you more than you. And that is nothing but a godsend. So what about the other 364? What about it? You don't think that that club owner is not prepared for that? How about that little Middle Eastern guy with the bucket of flowers? You think he ain't ready? You think he ain't ready for that? Mm-hmm. Or that curbside stop where the last minute you can just whisk in and grab and go. What about the other 364? Your greatest Valentine is illustrated by your time. It is solidified by those three words, I love you. But if you do not love you first, how can you illustrate it to them? What about the other 364? Now, let's turn the page. Because I know we all desire companionship. We all want what our heart yearns for. That is intimacy. Intimacy is nothing but pure connection. Sure, it is illustrated through bliss and connection between partners of love. but it is grown within your spirit. What about the other 364 family? They came in like a winds of change and swooped you off your feet, like a 1920s Rudolph Valentino movie. Mind blown, feet unstraddled, and you are whisked away through emotion, only to leave you ungrounded in foreign soils inside your mind. What about the other 364 family? Because in the end, you will come to understand this. Until you have the courage to love you, you will not understand how powerful those three words are. You will not be able to find it in your actions, but only snapshots of distraction, only to feel disenfranchised. What about the other 364? They hope that you don't. They hope that you will take the bait and be the token. You're not a token. You're the blessing. So what about the other 364? So when you look and add and connect the dots and you see that they are MIA, pray that that's where they stay. And have the courage to go within. Have the courage to acknowledge what needs to be fixed by grounding your feet, and you start to begin claiming what is needed. The road, the journey is found within you, family. Ends up becoming your direction and your legacy by way of your purpose. So what about the other 364 family? Because until you decide to love you, they're going to keep doing what they've been doing. A trinket here, a token there, miscommunication in direction not spared. What about the other 365? So I'm trying to save somebody tomorrow, because tomorrow you're going to wake up and today is going to be just like tomorrow. And you're going to innately want to feel a certain kind of way. But that's when you smile. You smile, family, because that's what God is trying to show you, that these people are not the one. Maybe the painful truth is this. Everything that was shown, said, and expressed was the litmus paper to validate what friendship was. How can you expect an unconditional bond and friendship if you're not a friend to yourself first? Who am I talking to? But they'll gladly distract you, blow your mind, curve your back, shake your pockets, and leave it so that it lacks. Only for another 24 hours to come and go and back on that treadmill where you once belonged. What about the other 365 family? Because you can't be bought. You can be loved by the, if you ground your feet, don't worry. Spiritually, you'll be sought. But unfortunately, tomorrow will become another show. There'll be another woman with all the trinkets and things to show, but secretly she goes home by herself. And she's mad at the world. Instead of loving herself and seeing the uniqueness, what makes her a diamond, she settled to be a pearl. Not the real pearl, but the kind that is generated through man. If they really valued you, even the one breath, how about a word? Their actions would show that they give a damn. I hope, family, wherever you are, just know this. Real recognizes real. And those people that genuinely love you, You're on their mind. It never changes. Their actions speak it. They don't need a stage. They don't need validation. They do it because it comes from the heart. So when you see it tomorrow, ask yourself this: what about the other 365, the other 364? Because if they genuinely loved you, they'd be doing what they've been doing from day one. God's playing for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. But just know you are loved. You are prayed for. But what is required is you love yourself more. So don't trip when the phone calls don't come. Don't trip because they ain't around. And if they are and they argumentative, then that should tell you right there through validation. They don't deserve to hear you breathe. You better see your worth and value. Because if you don't, why are you expecting them to do? Be blessed, y'all. Have a great and blessed week. Bye.